Hello everyone, and welcome to today's journey into the subtle yet profound shifts happening in our world right now. Have you noticed a strange sense of tension or overstimulation over the past couple of days? Perhaps your thoughts seem faster than usual, your sleep feels fragmented, or a quiet pressure lingers inside you. If so, you are not imagining it. According to the Hopi tradition, these experiences are signs of an energetic shift that quietly began after the recent solstice. Unlike the way many of us mark the solstice as a single, symbolic day, the Hopi understand it as a threshold, a moment that opens a passage rather than ending with a single event. In the 48 hours following the solstice, subtle energies ripple through both the earth and our own consciousness. People around the world may feel this shift in different ways, from emotional vulnerability to heightened sensitivity, as if the very frequency of daily life has changed beneath the surface. This is not a cause for fear. Instead, it is an invitation to listen deeply to your inner world, to notice how your thoughts and sensations respond to this subtle current. What feels unusual, fragmented, or overstimulated is simply your system adjusting to a new rhythm. By paying attention, you can begin to understand what is truly happening and prepare for the larger transitions ahead. Today, we will explore these changes, uncover what they might mean, and guide you through the first signs of this quiet yet profound post-solstice shift. While many of us think of the solstice as just a single day or moment on the calendar, the Hopi see it quite differently. To them, the solstice is not merely a date marked by the turning of the sun, it is a threshold, a gateway into a subtle new reality. Rather than a sudden event, its effects unfold gradually, like water seeping through stone. This perspective reminds us that some changes in life are not immediate but ripple inward over time, quietly reshaping perception, awareness, and energy. In practical terms, this means the unusual sensations you may have felt since the solstice, heightened awareness, moments of emotional intensity, or the sense that something in your inner world has shifted are not random. They are part of this threshold opening, a signal that consciousness is adjusting to a new frequency. The Hopi tradition teaches that certain cosmic alignments leave behind an energetic echo, a lingering influence that continues long after the solstice itself has passed. Understanding the solstice as a threshold encourages patience and attentive observation. It is less about rushing toward change and more about noticing how subtle shifts affect both the body and mind. By being present with these experiences, we begin to recognize the doorway that is opening, offering a glimpse into a deeper phase of human awareness, a phase where old patterns begin to loosen and new ways of perceiving the world quietly take root. As we move deeper into this post-solstice shift, the Hopi highlight a fascinating aspect of human consciousness: the sacred crown opening, or kapavi. Located at the top of the head, this point is described not merely as a metaphor but as a functional doorway, a passage through which our awareness connects with the larger cosmic order. During times of energetic transition, like the period following the solstice, the kapavi is believed to become highly active, functioning almost like an antenna. This means that your heightened sensitivity, fragmented thoughts, or sudden emotional waves are not flaws or malfunctions. They are signals that your nervous system is tuning into more information than usual. The subtle frequencies of the earth, changes in light, and electromagnetic variations all interact with this sacred crown opening, increasing perception and awareness. Some describe it as a light pressure at the top of the skull, a momentary dizziness, or a gentle emotional vulnerability, all indicators that your consciousness is actively aligning with new energetic patterns. Recognizing the kapavi in this way encourages a mindful approach. Rather than resisting these sensations, we can observe them, listen, and allow the nervous system to adjust. This inner attunement becomes the first step toward understanding the larger transitions unfolding in our world. By honoring this sacred passage, we begin to navigate the post-solstice shift with awareness, preparing for the changes that lie ahead in thought, perception, and daily experience. Following the activation of the sacred crown opening, Many people notice a sudden increase in sensitivity not just emotionally, but physically and mentally. Thoughts may arrive uninvited, emotions can feel amplified, and sleep might come in short, fragmented cycles. This heightened state is a natural response to the post-solstice energies and the subtle shifts in the Earth's orientation toward light. What feels like overstimulation is actually your body and mind adjusting to a richer flow of information. Modern science may describe this in terms of magnetic field fluctuations or subtle environmental changes, but the Hopi perspective frames it as an expansion of perception. Your nervous system is simply recalibrating, picking up signals that were previously below the threshold of awareness. This phase can feel disorienting at first. You might notice an increased emotional sensitivity, sudden bursts of insight, or a sense of being between states of awareness. But these sensations are not signs that something is wrong. Instead, they are invitations to slow down, observe, and honor the subtle messages your body is sending. By leaning into this heightened awareness, rather than resisting it, you can begin to integrate these energies and prepare for the next stages of transformation. Heightened sensitivity is not just a fleeting effect. It marks the beginning of a deeper attunement to the rhythms of the fifth world. It is the body's way of signaling that old patterns no longer align, and that you are being called to adapt, listen, and consciously navigate this new energetic landscape. One of the first unmistakable signs of the fifth world is a shift in how we experience time. You may notice that hours sometimes stretch endlessly, while entire days or weeks seem to vanish without memory. Tasks that once felt routine might now feel heavy or unusually fast, leaving a sense of disorientation. This is not imagination, it reflects a deeper recalibration of perception. According to the Hopi, the fourth world operated under linear, externally measured time, hours, calendars, and schedules governed daily life. In contrast, the fifth world is guided by rhythm rather than rigid measurement. Time is no longer something we move through mechanically. It is something we move with consciously, in alignment with natural cycles and the Earth's subtle pulse. Modern science offers a parallel in the form of the Schumann resonance, the electromagnetic heartbeat of the Earth. Fluctuations in this resonance can subtly affect biological systems, including our sense of time. When the Earth's natural rhythm shifts, human perception responds. The apparent distortion of time, therefore, is a signal that our awareness is beginning to synchronize with a different, more organic tempo. Experiencing this time distortion may feel unsettling, especially for those accustomed to strict schedules. But it is not a disruption to fear. It is an invitation to cultivate presence. By noticing how moments expand or contract, you start to tune into the fifth world's underlying rhythms, preparing yourself to navigate life with greater alignment, awareness, and ease. In the fifth world, time is no longer dictated by clocks, schedules, or external measurements. Instead, it flows according to natural rhythms, the subtle pulses of the Earth, the cycles of light and energy, and the resonance that connects all living systems. This shift invites us to move from a mindset of control and urgency to one of presence and attunement. The Hopi describe this as a world where life is guided by internal and planetary rhythms rather than imposed structures. Tasks, decisions, and even relationships are experienced in alignment with the flow of these energies. What once required meticulous planning may now unfold more naturally, while moments ignored or resisted may collapse or disappear entirely. For those attuned to this new rhythm, days can feel expansive, filled with clarity and awareness. For others, especially those clinging to strict schedules, the experience can feel disorienting or frustrating. This is the natural friction that arises when old systems of measurement no longer apply. The lesson here is subtle but profound. Instead of forcing life to fit rigid expectations, we are invited to observe and synchronize with the world's underlying tempo. By listening to the rhythms beneath everyday activity, we begin to cultivate patience, awareness, and a deeper connection with ourselves and the environment. This attunement forms the foundation for the transitions and insights that the fifth world brings. As the fifth world's frequencies stabilize within our consciousness, a second sign emerges, an increasing sensitivity to falsehood, superficiality, and inauthenticity. What once went unnoticed, exaggerated behaviors, hollow conversations, or performative gestures now feels abrasive or draining. This is not moodiness. It is a natural response of the nervous system recalibrating to a higher frequency. The Hopi describe this as a period of unmasking. Just as ceremonial masks are removed to reveal truth, individuals begin to notice distortions in both the world around them and within themselves. Relationships that rely on pretense or fear may falter. Social routines may feel uncomfortable, and internal habits that no longer resonate may become obvious. Physically, this heightened sensitivity can manifest as tension, sudden anxiety, or even subtle waves of discomfort. Emotionally, it may provoke withdrawal from situations, people, or routines that no longer align with your evolving frequency. The purpose is not punishment. It is clarification. It signals that your consciousness is becoming less tolerant of distortion and more aligned with authenticity. By observing this process with awareness, you can navigate these shifts consciously. Rather than reacting impulsively, you learn to discern what truly resonates, letting go of what no longer serves your growth. This intolerance for falsehood marks an essential stage in the transition, preparing the mind, body, and spirit for the coherent reality of the fifth world. As the fifth world's energies continue to settle, the process of unmasking extends inward. Just as you notice falsehoods and pretense in the world around you, old habits, roles, and identities that no longer serve your growth begin to surface. Words spoken out of obligation, patterns followed automatically, and routines once taken for granted may now feel heavy or misaligned. This phase can be uncomfortable. You might recognize behaviors in yourself that once felt harmless but now seem limiting or unnecessary. Yet, this self-recognition is also liberating. By identifying what no longer aligns with your inner frequency, you create space for authenticity, coherence, and intentional action. The Hopi emphasize that the fifth world does not demand perfection. It demands alignment. The unmasking process is less about judgment and more about clarity, revealing what truly resonates with your consciousness. As external and internal noise falls away, what remains is genuine, meaningful, and aligned with your true self. This stage encourages conscious choices rather than automatic responses. You begin to interact with the world from a place of clarity, observing where energy flows naturally and letting go of what feels dissonant. In doing so, you cultivate the foundation for the deeper capacities of the fifth world, preparing to navigate reality with intentionality, coherence, and awareness. The third unmistakable sign of the fifth world is the increasing immediacy of manifestation. In the fourth world, intentions, desires, and emotional states often took time to materialize, buffered by external structures, social systems, or linear timelines. In the fifth world, that buffer is shrinking. Thoughts, emotions, and intentions now influence reality more directly and quickly. This heightened responsiveness can feel both exciting and daunting. Decisions made with clarity and focus can create immediate opportunities, while unconscious or fear-based patterns may generate rapid consequences. The Hopi warned that this is not a mystical power to be wielded lightly. It is a natural extension of consciousness becoming more aligned and coherent. Physiologically and psychologically, this shift requires careful attention. Your internal state now carries more weight. The alignment of thought, emotion, and intention becomes essential. Reality responds not to desire alone, but to the coherence behind it. The faster feedback loop of manifestation acts as a mirror, reflecting the internal condition of your mind and body in tangible ways. Understanding this sign is crucial for navigating the fifth world responsibly. It is an invitation to cultivate clarity, self-awareness, and intentionality. By doing so, you engage with life as a co-creator, rather than a passive observer, learning that what you hold internally now has the power to shape your external experience with far greater immediacy than ever before. In the fifth world, reality begins to reflect internal states with unprecedented immediacy. What you think, feel, and focus on no longer lingers harmlessly inside. It shapes your external circumstances quickly and clearly. This creates the sensation that the world is responding directly to your inner life, making alignment and self-awareness more important than ever. Patterns of fear, scarcity, or unconscious reaction can manifest outwardly almost instantly, while thoughts rooted in clarity, presence, and coherence tend to unfold smoothly. This is not a judgment on personal worth or morality. It is the natural law of responsiveness in a world governed by rhythm and alignment rather than delay and external structures. For those unaware of this shift, life may feel chaotic, unpredictable, or even harsh. For those who understand it, this immediacy becomes a tool for conscious living. The world is no longer slow to respond or buffered by external systems. It mirrors internal states faithfully. The Hopi teachings remind us that this mirror is both an opportunity and a responsibility. By cultivating inner stillness, clarity, and intentionality, we can navigate life with precision and balance. Conversely, ignoring this feedback can amplify tension, disorientation, or discomfort. The fifth world challenges us to observe, align, and participate consciously in the creation of our experience, revealing the direct connection between inner coherence and outer reality. As we reflect on these shifts from heightened sensitivity, altered perceptions of time, and intolerance for falsehood, to self-clarity and the immediacy of manifestation, one thing becomes clear. The fifth world is not a distant future or a faraway place. It is already here, unfolding quietly through awareness, perception, and conscious participation. The old structures, habits, and illusions are loosening so that awareness can take their place. This transition invites each of us to take responsibility for our inner states. Thoughts, emotions, and intentions now carry weight, shaping reality more directly than before. By cultivating coherence, presence, and clarity, we step into the role of conscious stewards rather than passive observers. The fifth world does not belong to the loudest or the strongest. It belongs to those willing to align, listen, and act with awareness. Thank you for joining this exploration today. Remember, the subtle shifts you may be feeling are not signs of weakness or loss. They're markers of transformation and opportunity. Embrace the discomfort, notice the changes, and trust your inner guidance. If you have noticed these signs in your own life, take a moment to reflect, share your experience, and know you are not alone in this journey. May you navigate this transition with curiosity, clarity, and peace. Until next time, take care, stay present, and trust the rhythm of your own awakening.